To kick off the 2021 riding season, I find myself back in Arkansas, specifically in the Eureka Springs region. I had originally planned to ride this region when I was here previously, but was unable to due to some mechanical issues. But this time, I'm not alone, and I've come with some fellow local riders to the Chicagoland region. After a field trip down to Ponca, where we had some misadventures as we found ourselves on a little bit too difficult trails to be riding for our skill level, at least for some of us. When we did find ourselves on the Blue Flow Trail, we were met with some really awesome single track. Ryan, aka the Bike Doc, who is a great rider and also an incredible mechanic, was the only one that had ridden Ponca before and was nice enough to show us down the easier trails, while our friend Jock tackled some of the harder stuff. While Ponca was great, it requires a lot of pedaling, and that's why we found ourselves at Lake Leatherwood, a shuttled downhill bike park. To warm up, we've decided to go down DH6, which is the green flow trail at Lake Leatherwood. And right off the bat, things get a little squirrely for me as my front wheel washes out. Lake Leatherwood is an interesting place. It's a kind of loose over hard-packed shale that has a lot of berms and is fast flowing with a lot of chunk near the end of all the runs. Woo. It had been raining a lot on and off while we were down there, and a lot of the ends of the runs were pretty wet and sloppy.
Fun. Fun. Eating some dirt.
While the wet conditions might have made things fun and interesting, it also made things a little slippery. As you can see, I almost washed out the front of my tire again.
Whoa! Woo! Hot damn!
After another warm-up run down DH6, Ryan decided to show us down DH5, which is a blue flow trail. The top of the trails at Lake Leatherwood are a lot like the features and flow you'll find at Ponca. It's a lot of loose gravel and fast runs. At this point, Ryan stops us and warns us that this is where the trail starts to get a little chunky. This is a good place to introduce the rest of the riders. Bill, who rides up right next to me,
Hi.
Harry behind him, and Vicky.
Oh,
Come into a little rock section. Up here, you got a little rock roll. Go to the V-notch. You'll see there's a little V-notch type. Just shoot down that.
Kind of on the right.
You go left. Yeah, if you go left, there's it's a drop.
All right.
This
Just
is
walk-
important
just
to
roll up
note
there.
for later.
Oh yeah. That's pretty mellow.
Let me rephrase that. It's mellow to what we had
There you
been
go.
riding. The GoPro effect is pretty real here. It's super steep.
Right.
This part we come up to a tricky little rock roll that has
Hold
a
up,
couple
hold
of
up.
different line choices. The easiest being on the left, which ends up just being a roller with a little bit of a gap at the end.
Smoothest line.
Oh yeah.
come down dead center and hop it.
After Ryan
Oh, yeah.
shows us the line, we take turns going down. Bill's up first, and Perry goes next. And Perry, well, you'll see.
Oh,
Oh, Captain P.
There you go. There you go.
just keep rolling.
Take it slow.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
After we had completed the rundown DH5, the rest of the group that I was riding with decides to call it a day and head back to Bentonville. I then meet up with Jock and Mark, who had been riding together on some of the more challenging trails. We decide to go check out some of the single blacks, and, well, we end up riding, or should I say, walking a lot of it.
A little too chunky for me.
Or more accurately, I end up walking a lot of it.
Drop.
Do that.
Oh, that.
I want to go home.
I'm really fortunate to have rode with everyone on this trip. They're a lot more experienced riders than I am, and honestly, I come here alone, I probably wouldn't have ridden as much as I did. It's really unfortunate if you're able to ride with such experienced riders like Mark and Jock and everyone else. It really is a confidence booster and allows you to ride things out. Speaking of following faster riders, while I was trying to keep up with them on a rundown TH5, I almost take the drop.
Oh, shit. Not that line. I almost went off that drop. Oh.
Every time I travel to ride somewhere else, the trip ends up revealing a lot of my weaknesses and where I need to improve. And this year I know sort of where I need to be, and I intend to hopefully improve. This also served as an excellent primer for the Big Mountain Enduro, which I ended up doing the following weekend. It was a pretty quick turnaround, and yeah, that will probably be the subject of next week's video. After the rundown
Here we go, hit the
DH5, I was pretty exhausted. I had had a long week down in Arkansas, and I was ready to just call it a day, and I decided to do one more run down DH6. This isn't my last time down in Arkansas. I intend to go back as much as I can, but when the next time is, who knows. So, if you want to follow some of the riders I was with, some of them have some social medias. I will link them in the description below. If you like what you saw today, and you're new to the channel, consider subscribing and liking this video and following me on my adventure as I tackle the Big Mountain Enduro next week. And yeah, there's going to be plenty more to come.